All right. Well, thank you guys for joining today. We wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about listing showcase and what it is and how to use it. We all know that that Zillow has the eyeballs of the buyers, and I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid right off. Kyle, you can cringe when I say this. We can rip the Band-Aid right off and say that part of the issue with real estate has been that Zillow has our data and Zillow has our people. Well, Zillow also owns Showing Time, guys. So they already have our data and they have our contact information and they have all the things that everybody was trying to protect before. So it's not like, and I've said this with Bobby as well, it's not like we are turning into Zillow salespeople. We are not. However, there is a product that Zillow has that is providing additional eyeballs into our space, that's providing additional lead flow, that's helping our properties that we're selling get more exposure. Some of our top agents in the company are already using it and are paying $500, $1,000, $3,500 a month on these tokens to be able to highlight their properties. Whoops, there's Vanessa. Let me pop her in here. Promote to panelist. There we go, Vanessa. You are now a panelist and can talk. To promote the properties, get the eyeballs, get the leads, get all of that stuff happening in such a way that we're really, if we're going to brand ourselves as being the knowledge and being the agent in that particular area, then this product really aids in that, because all of instead of it having 5 different agents and no listing agent information, it's branded directly with a listing agent placard of all of the information that the agent wants to put. So it's their cell phone number, it's their email address, it's their little blurb about how they like NASCAR and racehorses. It's all the things that are important to them to start that brand connection and to reinforce that brand integrity of who that listing agent is, et cetera. So that being said, and I tested it. We sit there and tested it in a mastermind. Donnie and I have talked to the top producing mastermind agents now for well over 3 months, going back and forth on whether or not we were going to do this deal and what did it look like, what were they using, how were they using it, did they find value in it? And we tested it right there in the middle of the mastermind. We called a number and Ian McVeigh's cell phone rang because it went straight through to him because it was his number and it rang. So we were confident enough after those conversations with our top agents that were using it, and after meeting with Bobby and Donnie and I go back through the dot loop days and all of that stuff, and have been together for quite a while, off and on different products, and we felt comfortable with what they were telling us enough to be able to say this is something that we feel like is beneficial to our agents. And the reason is it's a minute group. Their whole goal here is not to sell this product to every single agent in the marketplace, because then it becomes not valuable to anyone. This is a showcase to really highlight a property, highlight an agent. And I think it's going to be something that, especially in certain price brackets and certainly in certain product types, is going to be a really great value add to get your sellers are going to love it, as well as to get those eyeballs from those buyers that are out there searching Zillow every day looking for properties. It's going to draw the attention of their eyeballs directly to the screen. So we had them in today. We've announced it a couple of times. We've done all kinds of kind of teasers in the updates. We've teased in the sales meetings. We've teased in some campaigns, but Bobby's rebooting his computer. We've got Kyle and we've got Vanessa both with the team here that's going to talk about what is it? Why do we want it? What does it need? And, is it easy to use? We're going to talk about process, that if you do want to move forward and put one of these tokens or showcase one of your listings, what does that work on the back end? How does it work with us? And then what steps do you need to take to make sure you get our discounted rate pricing, so that you're not paying your $3,500 or your $1,200. You're paying a $500 per token. Doesn't matter what the property costs. Doesn't matter how big it is. Doesn't matter how many you order per month. It's a straight $500. And Mary Alice is going to order those for you. So we're going to talk through how that's going to look. But they're going to give you the details on, do you want to use your own photographer or do you want to use their listing management services. What do you want it to look like? What are the restrictions if you do use your own photographer? And yes, you can. What are the restrictions on getting them certified? What equipment do they need? Most of these guys have the equipment they need already. They just need to read the instructions on how to submit in a proper format to be able for Zillow on the back end to do all its bells and whistles and make sure that everything connects and, and the confetti cannons go off. So while we're waiting on Bobby to jump back in, Kyle, Vanessa, why don't you guys introduce yourselves, and we'll pick back up with Bobby when he gets here.
Yeah, Vanessa, you want to go first or should I? I'll kick it off.
Okay.
All right, everyone. So great intro there. And actually, before Bobby gets on, so Vanessa and I are actually a little bit newer to Zillow. We're both coming on about a year and a half here. It'll be 2 years in December. So Vanessa was part of a company that I co-owned with two other residential realtors that was called VRX Media. And those two other guys, Nate and Seth, they're actually both residential realtors, one for 10, one for 15 years. And Vanessa and I, we went to high school with one of them, so we knew them really well. And we started a real estate photography, drone, 3D tour company way back in 2015. Zillow acquired our company in December of, a little bit newer to Zillow. We come from the real estate photo world. And of course, we understand real estate really well, especially having our business partners be from the real estate world. So we're part of the new listing media services, which we'll be talking about here in a second too, which is basically your local photographers that you're able to select through us. Now, there are going to be some areas that we do not have local photographers able to help you out. In that case, you'll bring your own photographer. We'll talk about that too a little bit later. Vanessa, why don't you intro yourself too here?
Yes, hello, I'm Vanessa. Like Kyle said, I worked with VRX Media for 7 years, doing all of the photo editing. We did some photographer training, etc. So we have lots of experience on the photo end part of it, and we're here to help with any questions that you have.
Can you guys hear me okay?
We can. Did you still not get video?
I still don't have video, so we're just gonna have to run with it, unfortunately. But I will be sharing my screen, and I'm quite upset because I dressed up for this call, and now no one can see what I'm wearing, unfortunately. But
Your photo's dressed up.
There you go.
Perfect. So, yeah, thanks for having us. I can quickly introduce myself. So my name is Bobby Sachs. I work on the broker development team here at Zillow ShowingTime Plus. I've been with the company for about 7 years, primarily on both the Premier Agent and now the broker development side. And we are super excited to talk about the Samson partnership with Listing Showcase. I will start off the call by running through exactly what Showcase is, as well as go into some examples of traditional listings and Showcase listings on Zillow. And then I will kind of pivot the conversation to talk mainly about the data that we're seeing on Showcase listings, and a lot of the data that we're hoping you as listing agents can present to your sellers, hopefully to convert more business and really wow them with the Showcase experience.
That's awesome.
So let me hop into it. I will go ahead, Sarah.
Of housekeeping, I'm just going to say that, guys, this is a webinar format, so I can't see you. So there should be a chat bar that I've enabled. If you would please type your questions in the chat, and we're going to be firing them off. I've got all of the panelists enabled to be able to view those, so we can jump in and start answering them. And then also anybody that currently has a subscription under Listing Showcase, reach out to me if you're interested in having the discounted program that we're doing, rolling your current subscription in so that you can get that discounted rate. Feel free to email me, and we will make sure that we get you covered into that as well. But again, type your questions in the chat, and we will make sure that all of your questions get answered.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about a traditional listing on Zillow. All right. So everyone is very familiar, I'm assuming, with what a traditional listing on Zillow looks like, as well as the functionality provided on a traditional listing. What you'll notice immediately is obviously the static images up towards the top. And again, all of this is feeding directly from the MLS. So once the MLS is updated, it'll feed through IDX directly to Zillow.com. So we have the static images up towards the top. And as you work your way down the listing, you'll notice the listing description. And then in very small font underneath the listing description, if you scroll a little bit further down, Vanessa, you'll notice listing agent details are in very small font. Down towards the bottom. So it'll be very difficult, obviously, for a consumer to identify who's actually listing this property. And if they were to, try and find out exactly how to get in touch with you, it is also difficult, meaning they're typically having to copy and paste that information and call you directly from that Google search. If you notice up towards the top right as well, you'll see the request a tour and contact agent button. Many of you are probably familiar with this, but on a traditional listing, right, request a tour as well as contact agent will feed directly to a premier agent partner, right? So that could be an agent, team, or broker that is paying for the zip code, or it could be a flex partner potentially in that market that is ultimately receiving leads and paying a referral fee on the back end to Zillow. Right. So nothing too crazy here. Again, most folks are familiar exactly with what a traditional listing looks like on Zillow. Vanessa, let's go ahead and hop into a showcase listing, and you'll get a better sense of exactly the differences. All right. So first and foremost, the listing looks completely different. The media is very captivating on that of a showcase listing. So you'll notice up towards the top, you have what we refer to as a carousel or hero imaging. So you can take 3 to 5 photos that were selected for the property and ultimately highlight those to continue to scroll through as a consumer lands on that showcase listing. What you'll also notice here as well is the agent billboard. All right, so right underneath the captivating media, it is not hard to identify who is the listing agent for this property. All right, so for this example here, we have Caroline from Samson. You'll also notice brokerage branding is provided as well. And she has the ability to upload a headshot as well as a short description of her business. All right, so everyone on the call here, should you partake in Showcase through Samson, you guys will have the ability to log into your account, which we'll cover with you, as well as update your headshot, your description, so on and so forth. I think this part of it is really, really interesting. Again, we refer to it as the agent billboard. This is a really, really great way to brand yourself on Zillow.com and really make sure that consumers that are continuing to search in that market are identifying you and your profile very quickly and easily. If you work your way down the listing, you'll also notice that we group the photos and the media differently. All right, so what we do is we refer to this as group by room functionality. We are leveraging artificial intelligence to select rooms in the property to highlight on these showcase listings. I know artificial intelligence has been the talk of the industry probably for the last 1 to 2 years at this point, probably 2. And the idea here is, although we are leveraging artificial intelligence, you as the listing agent has final say in terms of what is appearing on this showcase listing, right? So if we're recommending the kitchen, but you would rather highlight a different room in the property, you can absolutely do that. And it's really the first time that agents have the ability to actually edit how a listing appears on Zillow.com, which is really, really great. So if we want to scroll our way back up the listing, or Kyle, do you want to hop in here and talk a little bit about the media?
Oh yeah, why don't I'll pull up a Zillow 3D tour here really quick. Oh, did you already touch on the 75% more views and saves and stuff too, Bobby, for the showcase listings?
We're going to talk about that. I think
all right, cool.
And then we'll touch on the data points.
Yeah, so one thing, and I noticed we had a question already in the chat about the like if you already have a current listing, it's been active for 60 days, and you know what are you gonna have to do? You are gonna have to always, no matter what you do, if you're gonna do showcase, you have to have a Zillow 3D interactive floor plan linked to that listing. And I have one up here right now. This is a super, super awesome product. I know, we've talked to lots of people for years here. In fact, in our old VRX media days, we used to do lots of Matterports. So think of this as like a super amazing 3D tour. And the reason it's so incredible is it actually shows you on the floor plan exactly where the photographer took the photos. So if I click on the floor plan here on the right, we can actually see the photos being displayed right here on the left. We see accurate room measurements right here as well. So we can see the living room is 23 by 19 and a half. And if we click around on the floor plan, we can actually view the home through the floor plan and see the photos right there. Now we're in the bedroom, and it's super, super, super cool. Buyers love this. Sellers love it. Be sure to show your sellers this if you're trying to convince them to list with you, that they're going to have this technology on their listing, because we have 3 different tabs here. We have the photos tab, which is the one I'm on currently. If I click on the floor plan tab, we're actually going to give you a JPEG schematic floor plan file like this for free. Whenever you do a Zillow 3D interactive floor plan tour, you're going to get that for free with all the measurements. We're going to see the green squares here. Those are the photos. Now we have blue dots showing up as well. So that's going to be your 3D tour. Let me click into it over here. And just like the photos, we're going to be able to see live where we are on the floor plan. If I zoom in, we can see exactly where I'm looking on the floor plan live. And then we can walk around the house like you can on other 3D tour technologies out there. So really nice. And you have to have that on all your showcase listings. And that kind of ties into that group by room functionality, where you're able to hop into the floor plans kind of at will there. And then be sure to ask any questions that you might have about that. Also, the agent information will show up as well up here on the interactive floor plan on Zillow.com as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Kyle. Vanessa, can you hop back to the showcase listing? We can talk a little bit about the lead functionality. Wonderful. All righty. So again, Showcase was created mainly as a listing marketing tool, right? A way for really listing agents to convert more sellers point blank. And we'll talk a little bit about the exclusivity of the product and how to position that in a bit here. But one other notable change to Showcase listings is lead functionality. So you'll see up towards the top right, there are 2 different options for the consumer to choose. There is a request a tour option, and there is a contact Carolyn example or option, as you can see in this example. So request a tour will continue to feed directly to the Premier Agent network. But on a Showcase listing, should the consumer contact Carolyn directly, that lead will be delivered directly to the listing agent, right? We're showing this experience on a desktop. On mobile, it looks identical. Actually, on mobile, there is a click to call button when you contact the listing agent directly, which is a really nice feature. So you will have the ability, obviously, to receive listing leads on your Showcase properties, which is pretty exciting. So, Vanessa, I don't know if you have some of the statistics pulled up. We can kind of hop back to the deck there, and we can talk through that a bit. And I apologize that my screen share is not working, or else this would be pretty seamless.
Guys, don't forget there's a Q&A button at the bottom of the screen, Q&A. If you have questions, just drop your questions in the Q&A and we will answer them.
Awesome. So not much to be said here. Obviously, Zillow.com is still the #1 US residential app. We're receiving roughly 3 times more daily active users than any others in the category. And we're still receiving roughly about 194 million unique visitors month over month, which is really, really great. Vanessa, if you want to hop to the next slide there. Let's talk a little bit about the Showcase listing and the exposure that these Showcase listings are receiving, because it's really pretty awesome. So Showcase listings and the product functionality that we have built into Showcase is driving more enhancements and more exposure through the algorithm that we've created. So the numbers that we have to date are active Showcase listings on average are driving 75% more page views, 68% more saves, and 75% more shares than similar non-Showcase listings on Zillow, right? And we can break that down a little bit further because there's always some questions as it relates to how we're getting this exposure. And it's really important to note that when you showcase a listing, that doesn't necessarily mean that if someone's searching in Ashburn, Virginia, that your listing is going to appear #1 on that search bar. And there's reason behind that. We have obviously the consumer data. We know what consumers are searching for in certain markets. If we're just highlighting that up towards the top, we might be getting exposure, but not necessarily exposure for active buyers that are interested in the property. Meaning if we're showcasing or driving a $700,000 listing to the top in Ashburn, Virginia, but that consumer is looking for a $400,000 home, it's great exposure, but it's not necessarily going to drive any, tangible activity, hopefully, on that property. So the way that we're driving exposure is based on what consumers are looking for. All right. So if we're identifying consumers in Ashburn that are looking for, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square feet at $700,000, those individuals are going to see that showcase property that is comparable to the specs that they're looking for more frequently in their search, which is really, really powerful. And some other really great stats that we're seeing, as you can see on your screen here, showcase agents are winning 20% more listings than similar non-showcase agents in the market. All right, which is really, really powerful to the value proposition of not only the media, but the exposure that you can provide your clients through this product. We're also seeing that showcase listings are almost 20% more likely to go pending in the first 14 days compared to non-showcase listings on Zillow. And then lastly, showcase listings are selling for 2% more than non-showcase listings on Zillow. Right, that's roughly equating to about $9,000 more on a home sold using showcase. These are really, really powerful statistics. I think one of the even more powerful stats that we have as well is that this product line is exclusive per market. All right, so Listing Showcase is designed to not exceed 10% of listings in your marketplace, right? What does that mean to you as a listing agent, right? Folks that you are competing with, there's a great likelihood that they're not going to have this tool available to present to sellers, which is why we want you guys to leverage this and sit down with your seller and explain the benefits of obviously getting this exposure on Zillow, as well as the captive media that you're providing to market their property. One other thing that I wanted to touch on, again, is the partnership that we've created with Samson, right? So I've been working with, Donnie and Sarah probably for the last 6 to 8 months. I've known Donnie for much longer than that. But the idea here is Samson's providing a really, really great way for you guys to leverage this marketing tool. And to explain that a little bit deeper, folks that are signing up for Listing Showcase on an agent level are committing to contracts with Zillow, meaning they are committing to a 6-month commitment and they are paying retail price to showcase a single listing every single 30 days on Zillow through the Showcase offering. What Samson has unlocked through this broker partnership is you guys do not have to worry about a contract, which is amazing, right? You guys are able to leverage this directly through Samson on a per listing basis, right? Which opens the door for a lot of listing agents who might not have a listing every 30 days. You guys now have the benefit of getting that directly through Samson. Not only that, but based on the partnership that we've created, we are also providing you discount on pricing, right? So you guys have one static rate to purchase Listing Showcase directly through Samson, right? And you don't actually have to worry about the list price because the agents that are signing up with us through our retail offering actually have to worry about list price, right? So in most markets, if they're bringing, let's say, a $1.5 million property to market, we're charging them over $1,000 to showcase that listing, right? Through the Samson partnership and one static rate, as well as the per listing strategy, you guys have one set rate, which is $500 to purchase Listing Showcase for your next listing directly through Samson, which I think is really, really incredible. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Kyle. He's going to talk a little bit about the resources we have, and then Vanessa will talk a little bit about the operations on the back end.
Yep, thanks, Bobby. So I actually just dropped a link to that listing resource center in one of the Q&As when I was answering one of the questions in there. So we have some really incredible resources for you guys in there where you can have postcards, flyers, emails, all things that you can leverage with maybe sellers that you're talking to or meeting with, potential sellers. And then, of course, with the email templates, you're able then to email that out to your sphere with a real simple copy and paste. You're able to edit all of these things in Canva so that you can put your own photos if you wanted in there. You can put your own logo on there. So really awesome resources for you guys to help you win listings and leverage the power of Listing Showcase. So definitely check the Q&A. I think you guys can all view that to click on that link in there. Another interesting way, which we actually had this in the Q&A too, is where you can flip existing listings to Showcase. And what we're seeing is that when listings, after they become Showcase listings, they're getting 80% more page views, saves, and shares compared to listings that were on Zillow. Of course, when you're flipping the existing listing, it's also a good time, of course, to go back to that seller and say, hey, we've been on the market for 60 days, maybe even longer. Maybe we should think about doing a price drop, throw Showcase on there, and then we're seeing some incredible results with that. So that's another great way to leverage Showcase is on currently active listings that maybe didn't sell in that first week or two like everyone was hoping. We can go to the next slide here probably. Yeah, so we have lots of testimonials. Those are just a few of them, but basically agents love it. They're really, I think one of the big ones is that one on top there is that really just leveraging Showcase as a competitive advantage against the other agents in the market because of that exclusivity that Bobby was talking about, where we're capping it at 10% of the listings in the market. It's a really good way for you guys to talk to sellers and say, hey, we're one of the few, possibly one of the only ones in this market and in your zip code that's going to be able to offer this. And they really like that Zillow provides that extra activity to their listing and that they're getting their lukewarm houses are now super hot. So just another cool thing there. And that wow factor of Showcase is some other things some of the agents like, just because those listings look so much better and so much more exciting on Zillow than your normal listing. So now we're going to talk a little bit about listing media services, which we call LMS. Don't confuse it with MLS, but LMS is our listing media services. That was, if you were here for the intro, that's where Vanessa and I actually came from VRX Media, which is now Listing Media Services. VRX Media was in business for a little over 7 years. And we started that company as a great way for you to get one photographer to show up professionally, to do all of your photos, your 3D tour, your drone services, and to do it with easy online booking and next day delivery. We already talked and I showed you guys a little demo of that interactive floor plan. This is another great thing. So if you're showing your sellers the Showcase and how amazing Showcase is, be sure to show them the incredible interactive floor plan that I kind of demoed for a second there. I'm not going to demo it again, but when we give you guys some Showcase listings so that you can use or look at for demo purposes, you can click into that interactive floor plan, zoom in there and walk around. I always recommend bringing a touchscreen laptop or an iPad or a smartphone and letting that seller kind of play around on the interactive floor plan so they can see how cool it is themselves. The Showcase has been in the wild for, since January. We are getting some sellers out there that are kind of privy to it. And they might actually be like, wow, I've seen this before. This is really cool. So it really makes sellers feel like you're using that white glove service and going the extra mile for them when you're doing Showcase and using an interactive floor plan on their listing. One thing with our team here at ShowingTime Plus is we actually have a team of over 100 engineers that are working on that Zillow 3D interactive floor plan to make it better and better every time. I mentioned earlier, we give you for free a floor plan file in JPEG form. We do see some agents include that at the end of their photos, just because you get it for free, you might as well. Those measurements are a little bit over 98% accurate because our photographers are measuring the closets and the garage spaces as well. So we're really getting a full view of that home. And then our team actually asked that we would have fixtures included on the floor plan. And because we have that internal team here, they actually updated that software last summer for us. So now the fixtures are showing up on there. So if you guys have any updates or tips that you would like, things that you would want us to possibly bring to that engineering team to make the Zillow 3D process better, we have a team here that can do that, which is really good to have that here. Now, when it comes to LMS, Listing Media Services, we are going to have a slide here in a second where we talk about what if you're not in the DC metro area? What if you're not in some of these other areas? Yeah, maybe Vanessa, pop over to that one first. Before I tell you how incredible it is to have Listing Media Services, how easy our online booking is, how you have that one photographer showing up in a ShowingTime Plus polo that we've trained. They're all using the same gear. There are going to be some markets here for Samson where we do not have local photographer support. I know West Virginia is one, other parts of Virginia, other parts of Delaware, and some other states too that Vanessa might be able to remind us of. There are some areas that we do not cover We of course do cover that whole DC metro area. So we're covering all those offices for Samson that are in that metro area. But there are going to be some that we don't cover. So what happens if you're going to do showcase and we're not there? So we have a really great third-party photographer program where you can actually get your own photographer to shoot what's needed for a showcase listing. So in order to have a showcase listing, the number one thing you're going to want to have is the photographer has to be able to do the Zillow 3D home tour. So they have to download the Zillow 3D home app. We have all these resources for photographers to be able to pull this off for you guys on the listing. And then, of course, make sure they're taking great photos. They do have to have, a lot of photographers already have it. It's either the Insta360 or the Ricoh Theta camera in order to do the Zillow 3D tour. All they're going to have to do then is download the app, just get a little bit of training. Most photographers are up and running in a week or less, depending on how quickly they get into that training material. So that is just one thing to note in the markets where listing media services is not available. You are able to bring your own photographer to do the showcase media for you guys. So circling back to listing media services, we do automatic free blue sky on all of our shoots for you guys. Easy online booking, next day delivery. We offer drone, virtual staging as well. I don't know should I fly through those slides, you guys? What do you think? I can do it too if you want. It looked like it was kind of lagging here. Yeah, we're kind of slow on the internet. But yeah, let's pop it back in there. So with listing media services, again, you'll be able to order the packages online. We do automatic free blue sky on all of our photo shoots, which is really cool. I love this little photo shoot here because we shot this on an overcast, rainy day. Just a normal little listing. I used to have a luxury listing here when I was showing off the blue sky, but we do automatic blue sky, not only on the exterior of the home, but if you look over there on the other photo, we actually do it on the interior of the home as well, because on our photos, you can see all the way out the windows. We do an HDR photo process where all of our photographers are actually taking 5 different bracketed exposure photos for that one photo. And that allows us to have really realistic, beautiful photos where we can see out the windows on the interior of the home, but all of the furniture and the flooring and everything looks great too. And our exteriors look awesome. We're shooting those in HDR as well. And then if you happen to order drone photography, either as an add-on or part of our premium package, we do drone photos. Our drone photography is also in HDR. So we're actually taking 5 drone photos for every one, merging those together. And then our amazing editing team is editing those to look incredible. One small tip on drone photos is if you do have us do drone photography on a listing, our drone pilots are really good at getting low flight drone photography. And these 2 listings did a great job of making the drone photo their primary listing image. We see a definite little uptick on clicks to the listing if you're using a drone photo as the main listing. So that's just one little note. We also have all sorts of add-ons at Listing Media Services. Virtual Twilight's one of our popular ones. It is included for free in the premium package, but you can also add it on to our other essentials package. That's where we're using Photoshop to make it look like a Twilight photo. There's a lot of showcase agents across the country that are using Listing Media Services, and I see them using the virtual Twilight photo as their primary listing image. So another great way to get some extra clicks into the listing. One add-on is that if you have any vacant homes or even homes that maybe you guys don't like the furniture in, we can do virtual staging. It's only $25 a photo to add that on when you're ordering our photography services. We also do virtual staging with furniture removal. That's, I think, $55. So that's just one note on that. We do also in our premium package have a social media reel highlight video. I'm going to save time here and not show you one. They are really cool. They're 30 seconds. I also think my internet's going to make it too choppy for you guys, but a really great video. It's ready to go for Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. We keep it under 30 seconds so that it's ready to go on all those platforms. It's set to music. It's an actual video. Our photographers record the video. We cut it up into a really quick video for you guys. This is another way to wow those sellers if you're going to order that premium package, to show them that social media reel highlight video as well. And then here's kind of the breakdown of our 2 core packages at LMS. The Essentials Plus package is going to get you showcase ready. It has all the photos you're going to need, interior and exterior HDR. We don't have any photo limits. We're going to shoot as many photos as the house needs. You're going to get that Zillow 3D interactive floor plan and the downloadable JPEG high-res floor plan. Then the Premium Plus package has all of that that's included in the Essentials Plus, but you're going to get drone photos, virtual Twilight, and the social media reel highlight video. In the DC region, Our Essentials Plus package runs around $300, a little bit more depending on the size of the home. We base our pricing on the square footage of the home. So really great value for everything you're going to get. And then the Premium Plus package is like $120 more, I believe. So you're going to be able to keep your pricing for the most part. You're under $500 just for our photography services. Even if you went with that Premium Plus package, maybe on a bigger home, you might go a little bit over 500. But for getting everything you're going to get with that premium package or to save a little money with the Essentials Plus, you're going to be showcase ready with either of those. Another thing with listing media services is, hey, maybe you already have a photographer you like in the area and you're going to get them to use Zillow 3D so you can use them on Showcase. Remember, we're a great backup. We have multiple photographers in the DC region. We can typically be booked the next business day in most of our areas. So very easy online booking. And then, of course, we can be your backup if your current photographer can't make it. And then we already touched on in the markets for LMS is not. You're going to have to bring your own photographer. And I think that's it. Are we now handing it over to Vanessa here?
Yes, I'm just answering a question real quick and I'm popping. All right. There we go. So how do you get these benefits? What to do next? All right, we'll cover all of those things now and go through just kind of the back end of everything. So again, like Sarah said, what's included is the $500 per listing showcase access. Then on top of that, you would pay for media, whether that be through LMS services or through your own photographer. You would go through the regular process that you normally do with your photographer as far as ordering and scheduling. With LMS, you would do it all in one checkout while you're filling out your property information. You also get a full ready-made suite of co-branded marketing materials like Kyle suggested. He also put that into the chat, I believe. I also added in the chat a link to where we service, and the pricing will be there as well for LMS. So the first thing you're going to do when you decide you want to get a showcase listing is you're going to want to log in. All of you, or most of you, should be entered into the system already. The way that you access the account is you're going to go to app.showingtimeplus.com. You'll want to select password, enter in the email address that Samson has on file for you, create your password, and then you're logged in and ready to go. You're going to want to fill out your agent profile right away. It's very important that you fill it out very detailed because that's the information that's going to go onto your showcase listing. So you're going to go into settings, upper right there, go into agent profile and fill out that information. First name, last name, customize your bio, upload agent photo, all your contact information, and then you have the ability to, your logo should be preloaded, Samson's logo, but you can change any of the things that are preloaded in there already. So creating a new listing, what you're going to want to do is you're going to send Mary Alice an email. We're requesting that in the subject line description, you put showcase order, last name, first name, and the complete address. That way she can keep things nice and organized. And in the body of the email, you would put, you would like to purchase a showcase listing, and then you're going to put your name, full address, the listing price, and the square footage. Square footage is very important because it will distinguish how much time we're going to need at the appointment. So obviously a 1,200 square foot home is going to need less time than a 4,000 square foot. So we want to make sure we're accurate on that. Once you send Mary Alice that information, she is going to charge your credit card on file for that credit, and then she'll email you back letting you know that is done. Once you get that email from her, you're going to sign in, if you're not already signed in again, at app.showingtimeplus.com, and you're going to finish the process off by choosing your photographer. So you have the two options there between choosing your own photographer or letting us handle the photography. So I'm going to go through the letting us handle photography part of it here. One thing I do want to note is when you're in your dashboard, this is going to be the view that you see right there on the bottom. You'll be able to see which properties have already been ordered. The media's already been ordered because you'll see awaiting media upload. And then which properties you have not selected the media option. You must select the media option to have the appointment complete. Just buying the showcase will not get you a photographer out there. And let's go through the LMS process. So this is the ordering for LMS process. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick a package. So we have various options here. Kyle kind of talked about it. We have the Essentials Plus and the Premium package. Essentials comes with interior and exterior photos, high-res floor plan, the virtual tour, and the Premium Plus includes everything that the Essential does, but then you also get a social media video, and you're going to get that aerial photography. There's also a la carte options for you as well, where you can get certain services. Now there are the add-ons. Our photographer might be able to give you more services than your current photographer can, where we do amenity photos, that real twilight photography, which is great. Again, that virtual twilight, virtual staging, all of that great stuff. Once you pick your package, you'll be brought to the appointment screen. So you'll choose your date. Once you choose your date, the time will come up here. You're going to do your access details, who will be present. You're going to want to make sure that while you're filling it out here, you enter in your additional email recipients. So you're going to want to put your email in here because Mary Alice is going to be the one to get the confirmation and she'll send it to you. But you can also include, if you have, an assistant that helps you with things, they can also be in here and they'll get notified when your media is delivered. If you order virtual staging, you can put in notes here about styling or which rooms you want to have staged. Otherwise, you can put that you want to decide after the photos are delivered. One other thing, sorry, with the notes for the photographer, we're going to want to get as specific as possible so that we don't miss anything that might not be obvious. And then also with the amenity photos, just being detailed on where those amenities are. Once you continue, you're going to be brought to the summary page. You're going to fill in your credit card details because, again, this is a separate transaction than the credit. Agree to terms and services, and then you'll continue. And this is an example of what the confirmation email looks like. I wanted to note that you can tell who your photographer is by under the team member section. So you'll get how long the appointment should take and who is coming to the home. That notification also will go to Mary Alice, so she'll be the one that does that for you. If you'd prefer to use your own photographer, again, you'll have all the information on how to get that started, but you would click use your own photographer, and then a box will pop up for you to put the name and the email of that photographer in there. Kyle pretty much covered this, but you need specific equipment, and we provide a training video and all the things that are required to start that process. Once the media is done, you'll get an email forwarded you from Mary Alice, and it will take you to the download center. Here you can access all your media, copy and paste the interactive floor plan. You're going to want to use the MLS friendly unbranded to post into your tour section of the MLS. You can see your floor plan images are here. You can click into any image in this space, or you can go into the full gallery by clicking here and you can download all of the photos. I would suggest downloading all the photos before you do any kind of edits to just make sure you have that. Appointment notes, and then products you've ordered, the statuses will be on this side as well. Once you go through all of your media, you can then go into the showcase editing portion of the process. You'll get an email again reminding you that the property is ready to be showcased, and then you can log in and go into the dashboard here. The first thing that you're going to want to do is go into the listing showcase tab and click on edit listing. It'll bring you to this menu where you have 3 different options here. The first one is for photo carousel. You can go in and add more photos to here, so you can have up to 5. When you click on that, you can click pick a different photo if you want to change the photo, or you can remove from carousel if you want to take away a photo. This is AI generated, so it picks whatever it thinks are the best images, but again, you can choose any that you want. If you're adding a photo, you would be brought into a menu where you can choose which photos to add. You click save, and then it will be updated in the photo carousel area. If you decide, oh, I want to start over, you can undo all changes and it will go back to what AI had picked for you. So now here's going over editing the featured rooms. So those were the ones that we went through when Bobby was showing you the what the buyers would see, which is down here on the left. You can see how you would edit. You can drag and drop the order of the featured rooms if you want by clicking here and just dragging and dropping. You can add a feature room. You can have as many as you want or as little as you want. So you can get that taken care of there. And then again, you can revert changes to default. Again, AI picks these rooms for you, but you can change anything you want. If you decided to add a feature room, it will take you to a bunch of rooms that the AI recognizes different rooms. So those will show up here. You can choose them, add featured rooms, and then those will also show up. You can change the photos inside the featured rooms by clicking there. And then you can click on any of these here to change the photo. And you can also pick a different 3D image for the room as well, which is nice. There is a spot to change agent information all the way at the bottom. However, you need to realize that this will change all of your listings. So you need to be very careful that this is what you want to do because it will go back and change all of your other listings. Showcase activation. So how to finish off the process is we have some best practices for you. So obviously you edit your showcase listing. We want you to download your media. Then you would go through the process of uploading your media to MLS. You want to paste that interactive floor plan URL into the virtual tour URL in MLS, and then make your listing active. Activating your listing will prompt the connection between Showcase, making it live, and MLS. So it will not show up. Your Showcase will not be live until you go active, okay? So you want to make sure you've reorganized everything, made it perfect how you want it to be before you choose active on MLS. The Showcase listing will go live almost immediately after MLS is active, assuming that the interactive floor plan URL has been pasted into the virtual tour field. So you want to make sure that that is done. And agents will be notified when the listing is live. You can check your dashboard and that status will change to active as well. Once your listing is deactivated from MLS, it will no longer appear on Zillow and the status will say off market. We have a great support team. So this is the information that you need to contact them. They are available via phone and email Monday through Friday. And then we have some weekend hours for support as well. And then third-party photographers actually have their own email support. So if they had any questions or issues, they can contact them here, and that will all be in the information provided to you and available on Nest. So we can hop into questions. I don't know if everything in the chat has been answered, but Sarah, if you want to.
All righty. I think it looks like everybody has, questions have been answered so far. It looks like we've got some hands up. So, Kate, you had a hand up. Did you get your question answered? You're muted, Kate.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah. No, so I just wanted to be clear. So the $500 is for the showcase. Then we have to pick a package.
Of photography, or so yes, you have to pay for your photography, whether you
Okay.
want that anyway.
Right.
And then, so whether you use your photographer or the listing photographer, the $500 allows you to have the floor plan and the token and the showcase highlighting on the Zillow site, as well as the listing agent data in the platform.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then Jeffrey, it looks like you are muted also, but you have a hand up. Did you get your question answered?
Yeah, it was just about the if someone wanted a tour, it goes back to the
Got it,
premier agent, not to the listing agent.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yep, that was answered. And then can we get a copy of all the Q&A so we have the links? So funny that you asked that. I'm going to share my screen. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm on Donnie's computer, and Donnie has 962 tabs open. So let me see if I can go to the one that I actually opened for this. Let's see. Let's go to the Cardinal Nest, guys. I can't find it on Donnie's computer because he's got all these tabs open. If you go to the Cardinal Nest, guys, and you look at the left-hand nav bar under resources or Samson Partners, so it goes all the way down the bottom where it says Samson Partners, there is a listing showcase page, and that listing showcase page has the resource center for all of the listing marketing services. It has the co-branded slicks and brochures that you can put in your listing presentations or put in, give to your clients so that you can explain what a listing showcase is all about. So all of those links, all of those screenshots, everything's inside of the Cardinal Nest. Scroll to the bottom, Samson Partners, listing showcase, all of it's right there, ready for you guys to use. Any other questions that we can answer for you guys today? Remember that while we're waiting a couple seconds for people to type, if anybody wants to type anything, your process, if you decide you want this on an upcoming listing, you will first email Mary Alice. You will give her your name in case you have a crazy email address. You will give her the street address. You will give her the price that you are charging for that property, and you are giving her the square footage for that property. She is going to charge your card the $500. She will set up your framework and assign you that token. She will email you to confirm. You will go in, and then you will still have to, at that point, add your listing marketing, add your pictures and stuff in, whether you use their photography or you use the your own photography. You would then move it from there. These tokens are property specific. So if you don't ever pull the trigger and you go in and you forget to hit go and forget to upload and whatever else happens, like once we go through this rigmarole process, the tokens are assigned to that property. So you need to make sure that you're ready to, as Vanessa said, put the photography in, whether your photography or their photography, you need to be ready to start the active process. And then the feed connects once you go active. It's not going to feed in office exclusive. It's not going to feed incoming soon. You've got to be active MLS for this to feed through Zillow. Just a quick second. Any other questions? It looks like we've got people getting their answers. Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me or Mary Alice. This video will also be put up on Samson University, as well as the Cardinal Nest for you to refer back to if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks, Cal, Vanessa, and Bobby. See you later.